come on in because we are here for episode 9 of Love is Blind, the UK version. It's the last episode, y'all, before the marriages, before the wedding, before the I do's. This one was taking place like 9 days to the wedding, so we just got a little bit more time. So we're catching up with all the couples. The first couple that came on the screen with us was with Benaiah and Nicole, and we got to hear a little bit more behind what Benaiah was going on with Benaiah after Nicole said no to him and said yes to Sam. After she made that horrible decision, we come to find out that Benaiah was toe up from the flow up. Benaiah had to go home to Germany, which is where his mom and his sister were. And they tell us that Benaiah was toe up from the flow up. He was bent over, doubled over, stomach was hurting, chest was hurting, head was hurting. He wasn't eating, he wasn't doing nothing. So, we're learning a little bit more about Benaiah. And like I said before, and I keep saying, that if anybody's going to get hurt in this situation, it's going to be Benaiah. We've seen all of this anger that Benaiah has, right? Supposedly it's for Sam, but you know what? Over here in my camp, I really believe a lot of this anger that Benaiah has is misplaced because honestly, half the stuff he's mad about, it wasn't really Sam who did it. It was his old girl, Nicole. It was his old girl, Nicole. She was the one that couldn't read the signs. She was the one, as he said, got the wool pulled over her eyes. She was the one that was trying to sleep with Sam on the first night. And yeah, I believe it. I believe the story Sam told because Nicole didn't deny it. She tried to deflect. So now Benaiah is, not only was he tore up from the floor when he went home to Germany, and now he is doubled over again because he's heard this new news. So when the family came to meet Nicole, it ended up going well. The parents liked him. The mama gave her the thumbs up, gave her the seal of approval and everything. Everything went well. I thought Nicole was going to tell us a little bit more about her previous marriage. I really would want to hear what went on with that, to be honest with you, just a little bit. You got everybody else talking about their previous relationships. Everybody else is talking about, how they went out with these horrible guys, this and that. And I said, I really don't think the lady should be talking about that. But when you've been married and your marriage didn't work, I think it is important for your new spouse to know what went on. And maybe she shared it with them. Maybe she just ain't sharing it with us. Maybe she shared it. They edited it out. I don't know. But all we know is that Nicole has been married 3 years ago. That's it. That's all we know. I really wish we would have had given more information. But the parents, the mom and the sister, really like Nicole. They said they have never, ever seen a Benaiah this happy to find a place to be able to go live in. Because what they said about Benaiah was what we keep saying is he's a nomad. He's a nomad. The sister said it. They said he can't stay in one place for long. He likes to hop around from place to place. And she said he's been doing this all his life. And the sister said, I don't know if he can change. And Nicole sat there and looked at that sister with a blank face. So let's see, like we've been talking about, can Benaiah change his nomad lifestyle? Or is he really going to want to be the husband that stays out in the countryside, building the log cabins, and then he occasionally comes into the city to visit Nicole? Because I'm pretty sure Nicole works in the city. She's a I think she's like a brand marketing manager, but who knows? Maybe she's working remote. Or they might have made her come back to the office like they're making all these other people come back to the office. All these remote workers having to come back in the office. So we'll see if Benaiah can change. He said he ain't been in a relationship for over 10 years. 10 years. He ain't had no apartment for 10 years. He ain't been in no relationship for 10 years. He's a nomad. But you know what? I still believe these two are going to say yes to each other. I think that they're in love. And she already called him hubby. Their last date was great. I think that was nice. They had some nice champagne. Nicole, once again, had to lead the way. And I popped the champagne for Benaiah. I tell you, Nicole, get ready to lead, girl. Get ready to lead, because this is just, it's more to come. It's more to come. Nicole gonna have to be the one to lead, but so what? Because she owes Benaiah. But at this point in time, Benaiah has forgiven so much stuff from Nicole. Benaiah has forgiven so much from Nicole that she can't complain about too much, Really, she really can't complain about too much. And as we talk about complaining, complaining, the chief complainer in charge, we're gonna call her Cat. Cat, the prime chief complainer in charge is Cat. And we got to meet her friends. Freddie got to meet her friends. And the conclusion of that meeting was that friend said that this ain't gonna work. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. This is not gonna work because even that friend sees that, you know what, these are two different people. And, Kat keeps trying to pretend like she's not the person who likes to go out and I guess hang out in the bougie places. Ollie was the first person to peep that about Kat. He says, oh, that's the place where you go and celebrate your birthday? That's kind of pretentious. That's kind of bougie. That's what Ollie said back in, earlier in the season. And now we find out that the friends are basically confirming it. And, Freddie's a little worried. Freddie said, you know what? Hey, I'm not that pretentious guy. I don't like to go to all these highfalutin places. I'm a Netflix and chill kind of guy. So if this is the life that you want, we may not be compatible. Freddie is laying it out. Freddie has been laying it out, telling her up front he's chilled. And every time Freddie tells her something about him, when Nicole says, is that's okay. That's okay. I'm really not that girl. Once again, trying her best to be chosen. Kat says she ain't high maintenance. She hides something because she is high full of something because she may say that she's not high maintenance, but she is a whole lot of work, even if it's just fending off all this stuff she likes to complain about. Freddie almost basically said, he likes to stay home, Netflix and chill. And Kat is over here talking about, that's not who she is. She don't want to stay in the house. He's kind of like a house hermit. So if you believe he's a house hermit, you don't want to sign this prenup, right? You got all these negative things to say about him. Then why are you so intent on trying to get him to the altar to say yes to you? It was interesting seeing Kat's mom and dad. I like the mom and dad. And it was interesting to see, her parents and everything like that. And her father was really, really level-headed. I think he was coming with some good advice for someone that's been married. I think he said he's been married for 35 years. He said you got to work hard. You got to be a team. But the one piece of advice he said to Freddie that I didn't agree with, he told Freddie, follow your heart. No, Freddie, don't follow your heart. Follow your head. Follow your head, Freddie, because your heart could be lying to you. If your heart and your head ain't in alignment, then follow your head, because let me tell you, the heart be lying. The heart be lying. So please, Freddie, do not follow your heart. Kat's got all her panties in a bunch over this prenup. Her friends were looking at her sideways saying, what? If y'all get married, he ain't gonna leave you nothing if he die? She can get that glittery mirror. Freddie, go ahead on and leave her that glittery mirror that you got standing up in the bedroom. Since she wanted to talk about it, go ahead and leave her that. That's what you can get, Kat, in the prenuptial agreement. You can go ahead and you can get the glittery mirror. But Freddie's sending a signal. He's letting them know, letting the mom and daddy know, I'm not sure. And if I see too many red flags, if things are not right, Freddie's basically sounding the alarm button and saying, I will not say yes if things ain't right. And now we got Catherine over here talking about she ain't gonna walk down that aisle if she don't know for sure it's right. Because we know that Kat has a large ego, a lot of pride. And what Kat is saying is, I'm not trying to get up here in front of this altar and get dropped at this altar. Remember, she went through all this effort to make sure people know that it wasn't Ollie who broke up with her. She broke up with Ollie. So what Kat's trying to do is she's really trying to get the answer from Freddy now before they actually get to the altar, because what she's trying to say is, you're not going to embarrass me up in front of this altar. You're not going to be able to tell the whole world no to my face. I'm going to know beforehand, because if it's going to be a no, Kat's basically saying she don't want to show up. She said, my pride and my ego is too large to get dumped at no altar. No, sirree. She trying to find out in advance. Well, the friend already told her it ain't going to work. It ain't a good match. So maybe, who knows? Maybe Kat won't even make it to the altar, y'all. Maybe she won't be standing up there in front of Freddie, giving him the opportunity to say no to her. because what she might do is, we know her pride and ego is large. If she is sensing a no from Freddy already, what Kat may do is say no before they even get to the altar. I can see it. I can absolutely see it happening. Another couple I don't see making to the altar is Tom and Maria. I don't see it whatsoever. And we got to meet Tom's family. You know, we didn't get to meet the mama, but we did get to meet the sisters. The sisters from another dad, from another mother. So his same father, half sisters. We got to meet the sisters. And the way that Tom and Maria were talking, you kind of already tell they're not getting married. I don't know what Maria wants. You know, Maria's walking around talking about she wants a traditional household. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But did y'all notice that Maria ain't cooked nothing since they've been together? Maria's talking about, she's over here talking about splitting bills. But Maria, who wants to be the woman who stays at home, doesn't want to split no bills, doesn't want to pay for nothing, wants Tom to be the provider. I haven't seen her do no traditional stuff. She ain't cooked no meal. And when they had Tom's sisters over, it was Tom who had cooked the pasta bake. It was Tom who was serving everybody, and Maria was sitting up there receiving. You see, one thing we done figured about Maria is Maria just wanted to be chosen. Maria really, like I said, Maria don't know how to pick. She got a bad picker. She don't know how to pick. And Maria wants to run around talking about money's not important. But in reality, everything Maria's been talking about with Tom is about money. Isn't that funny that Maria gave Tom a big old lecture that when Tom was being snooty and uppity, talking about she didn't have no real career, okay, now all of a sudden everything's about money. Who's paying what? Who's providing? Who's this? Well, I thought love and respect was the cornerstone of the marriage, Maria. Now, for you, it seems everything's about money. And one of my viewers, y'all pointed out really correctly, you said, for her to say that she has a serious career, she sure was willing to drop it real fast to stay at home. I thought that was so funny, that to say her career is so serious and she was so offended by Tom, but yes, she was really able to get a. Maria is a little bit of a hypocrite. She kind of talks out two sides of her mouth, y'all. She talks about what's so funny. She wants a funny man. She talks about how she wants a traditional household, but yet I ain't seen Maria cook no meal. I didn't see Maria sitting up there serving Tom's sisters, being no hostess. Her butt was sitting in that chair letting Tom do all the work. So to be honest with you, I don't know if Maria knows who she is. I don't know if Maria knows what she wants. I don't know if Maria knows what type of man would even be the man to give her what she wants. I think Maria needs to go back and do a little bit of soul searching. As I said, I think Maria's rushing marriage due to her father having passed away. And I think she's trying to fill that hole in her life. And she might be trying to fill it a little bit too soon before she's had a chance to figure out what she wants. Because whatever she wants, if she knows what she wants, she doesn't know how to find the guy. Maybe she had to sign up for that. Isn't there another show on Netflix called The Indian Matchmaker? I know she's not Indian, she's Moroccan. But I don't know. Maybe she can get some help from another matchmaker, because maybe what Maria needs is an arranged marriage. That might be what she needs, because Maria is talking about she wants a protector, a provider, just like her brother-in-law is and her uncle is. But I'm wondering if she's willing to do all the things a wife does to have that type of provider husband. Because I'm telling you, Maria's over here running around trying to have all these fancy martinis, talking about how good this is, go out to restaurants, not pay for anything. She ain't doing nothing domestic, nothing. Tom is over here talking about he likes Maria because Maria makes him laugh. Well, shoot, Maria says she wanted you to make her laugh, Tom. That's what I'm saying. These two, I don't even know how they got here. Tom might as well go on over there and have a date with Tosh, because I'm telling you, she's much better suited than Maria is for Tom. Much better suited. But even for their last date, everybody else had nicer dates. All they did was go to a basic bar. Nothing fancy, nothing sweet, nothing kind, nothing that kind of spoke to who they are. All it was going out to some bar and having a drink. But Maria says she want to be a stay-at-home and be domestic, but they going out to a bar. None of this adds up. Not one bit of it adds up. You know what? Thumbs down. Thumbs down to Maria and Tom. Let's move on. They kind of just took up a space on this whole series. We really could have done without Maria and Tom, because This was a failure in the making. But you know what the most interesting part of this whole episode was, y'all? It was the thing that went on with Bobby and Jasmine, and basically Jasmine's mama. Now we know where Jasmine gets it from, how she got here. We know her backstory. Let me tell you, it was scary watching that mama. I know that mom is calling what she's doing is love, but I'm telling you, it is not love. It's almost borderline abuse, the way that she was talking to Jasmine, the way she has controlled Jasmine's life, the way that mother has sort of imparted all of her things that have gone wrong to her and dumped that on her daughter Jasmine. So all of the mother's past marriages, horrible experiences, she pretty much makes Jasmine breathe that, and it has made Jasmine come into relationships, I think, with a really negative attitude. I really found it abusive, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's a strong word to use, but I found that mother's language, her thought pattern, the way she thinks, the way she talks to her daughter, the way she calls it giving her daughter advice. I found it mentally abusive. I know Jasmine is a mental nurse, and I think we always talk about how do you decide when maybe a loved one in your family you need to have some separation with a loved one. And I'm going to say to Jasmine, she's a mental health nurse, and maybe now I know why she went into that field, because maybe she wanted to learn more about the field, because maybe she realized that her own mental health was at risk with that mama. It is. I know Jasmine keeps trying to put words, fancy words on her mother's behavior, calling it protective. But to be honest with you, I feel like that mama is trying to keep Jasmine for herself and away from other men. And she may call that protective, but I think it's a way of it is selfish. It was almost as if that mother, she calls it warning Jasmine, but in a lot of ways, I feel like what it does is it discourages Jasmine from forming bonds with men, because her mother doesn't want to lose Jasmine. Because, like she said, Jasmine is her whole world, Jasmine is her life. And if Jasmine were to go off and get married, then she loses her best friend. She loses all that. This is just selfish. I know Jasmine wants to put a nice word on it, say her mom is a straight shooter. No, that's abusive. I'm telling you, what I saw with that mother was abusive. When she started telling that story, how that mother would look through her call log and call every man in her call log and tell that man, do not talk to Jasmine. I said, oh my gosh, this is abusive. This is absolutely abusive. I've been saying early on that Jasmine notices everything, 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 everything. But now we know, because that mother, like she said, her mother was a detective, an FBI, a CIA wrapped into one. And Jasmine has picked up on that hyper, paying attention to things, hypersensitivity. And let me tell you, like mother, like daughter, and it's sad that I see Jasmine as a lesser version of her mom, because that mom is really, really bad. But even at the level where Jasmine is, we all can see that Jasmine needs to tone it down. I don't know how you tell a person who loves their mother that they need some distance from their mother, because their mother is actually destroying them. What that mother is doing to Jasmine's personal life in terms of being able to bond with someone is ridiculous. And I don't know if that mom can change. I don't know if that mom can change. Even the way that mom walked into the house when she had such a long embrace with Jasmine, to the point that Bobby was standing there like, this is awkward. Like, when you gonna let Jasmine go? I mean, I guess she came all the way from the Philippines, so in that respect, I can do that. I can understand it. But in another respect, I thought it was also a way to sort of just diss Bobby. It was almost as if the mother wanted to intentionally ignore Bobby through this long embrace, because really the mother doesn't want him there. It's almost like, if I'm just going to keep hugging my daughter because I love my daughter. Yeah, it's a long embrace. I haven't seen her. I've come from the Philippines. But in another way, once she let loose of Jasmine, it was almost as if she didn't really want to even look at Bobby. She was like, I'm not really here for you. I'm here just for the free trip, the free flight from Philippines to see my daughter. I don't know. The mom said she was shot. She was shot, and she said she wants everything. She wants the best for Jasmine. She wants the best what's for you. And she was asking, Bobby, why are you choosing Jasmine? Why you want to be with Jasmine? And Bobby's like, I think she's sweet, I think she's caring, I think she's honest. Bobby went on to say that he hasn't been in that many serious relationships, and the mom looked at that and said, ugh, you haven't been in that many serious relationships. So she took that as a negative, and then she started digging in on him, on his educational background. And Jasmine was trying to catch up with him and let him know that, hey, nowadays, college isn't the only road to success anymore, Mom. There's many other ways to success. And she's telling Bobby, well, I don't really think that an educated person can even have a conversation with a non-educated person. Well, girl, if you educated, you sounded real ignorant when you said that. You sounded real ignorant. At this point in time, it just sounds like you're picking at things to tear these people apart. And it's really sounding mean and nasty. And it's also kind of sounding, y'all, I'm serious, a little demented. I mean, the mother's facial expressions, actually, to me, y'all, they're really, really kind of scary. They were really kind of scary. It was like another level of mean. It was almost like kind of scary. Maybe because they were playing that little scary music in the background. I don't know if you noticed it, but Netflix, the little background music they were playing on that mama was like sinister and scary. And I was like, oh my gosh. you know. And then she went into this whole speech about men and how men change what they want. I was like, girl, are we still talking about Jasmine? Or are we talking about you and all your failed relationships? Because at this point in time, you seem to be projecting everything that has happened in your life onto Jasmine. This is why I don't like when mothers make their daughters such their best friends that they spoil their daughters on men before the daughters have even had a chance to experience their own relationships. It's one thing to give your daughter advice. It's another to start telling your young daughter adult stories. And that's how I feel Jasmine's mother was. When Jasmine's mother was getting dogged out by these men, these what did she say she had two marriages, two failed marriages? Her mother was probably talking to Jasmine as a young woman about all her marital woes and how bad those men were. And that's really way too much information for a young girl, because what you're doing is you're shaping that young woman's mind around men. Ugh, I just couldn't stand it. I actually feel really sorry for Jasmine. To me, when I started to see Jasmine in this episode, I understood how she is the way she is, how she's so feisty, how she's so fiery, how she was going at the neck of Ollie, which at the time I was like, okay, it's a little bit too much. Roll that back, Jasmine. But now I see it here, and I'm telling y'all, it feels like abuse. It really is a form of abuse. But it looks like Bobby has made the decision that he's gonna quit this cruise ship job. I was wondering, I said, is he gonna quit this cruise ship job? Because I know this ain't gonna work with him being on a Mexican Riviera for 6 months. But he said he gonna quit his cruise ship job. He gonna move to London. And what did that nasty mama say? You can't afford London. Basically, that's what she said. She basically said, London's expensive. How you gonna afford London? You can't afford it. And Bobby was like, you don't know what kind of money I can make. He's talking about, I make good money from sales. I can afford London. We're gonna be able to do it. He says, and then, maybe we could go abroad. And the mama was like, abroad? Well, what about her family? Woo, that mama wasn't having it any which way. If Bobby turned left, she turned right. If she turned right, Bobby turned left. I tell you, this was going horribly. And it didn't end there. It just got worse and worse and worse. The conversation got worse when she was telling Jasmine, you got to tell me everything that goes on in your family, in your marriage, everything. And Jasmine's like, I'm not going to tell you everything that's going on in my family because, then you're going to have bad opinions of this or bad opinions of that. And that mama sat there and said, no, you're going to tell me everything. You're going to tell me everything. I was like, woo, what is this? What was going on in this household when they were younger? Because this kind of conversation was looking bad, y'all. I'm telling you, I was really, really afraid of Jasmine. And I really started to feel sorry for Jasmine, because you could see that this has been going on a lot of years, and you could really understand some of the behavior Jasmine was having that a lot of us thought, okay, Jasmine, that's a little bit too much. It's coming from this mama. She is horrible. In the end, she tried to say, you know what, in the end, I respect whatever choice Jasmine makes. But she looked at Bobby and told him, but you better be loyal. I was like, ooh, that was a threat, Bobby. That was a serious threat. That mama said, you better be loyal. And she's like, everybody got secrets. Everybody got skeletons. What this mama about to do? Y'all, this was some sinister stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it scared Bobby away, But I don't know how the hell he gonna handle that mama if they get married. I don't know how he gonna handle that mama. That mama was like, everybody got a secret, and you better not lie to me. You better not lie to me, Bobby. I know Bobby was scared. I was scared for him. And poor Jasmine just started crying, and she was like, I don't understand why I can't be happy. That's right. You can't be happy, Jasmine, because that mama ain't happy. And that's what I'm talking about is abuse. You can't be happy because our mama ain't gonna be happy. And I don't know what to tell Jasmine, but Jasmine, there's gonna come a day when you're gonna have to put some more distance between you and your mama if you ever want to have a happy relationship with a man. There is no way you're gonna be able to be stay your mama's best friend the way she's talking, the way she acting. You're not gonna be able to do it. And I know it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but at some point in time, you're gonna have to choose yourself because your mama has lived her life. She has made her mistakes. She has made her choices. And you can't be the one paying for the bad choices that your mama made. And at some point in time, you're going to love your mama. You're going to have to be there for your mama, but you're going to have some distance between you and your mama if you ever have a chance at being happy yourself. And when I saw Jasmine breaking down like that, my heart broke for her, y'all. I ain't going to lie. My heart broke for her. But we'll see how this goes. I think they're going to both say yes, y'all. I think Jasmine's going to say yes. I think Bobby's going to say yes because I think that Jasmine is looking at this as an opportunity to kind of get away from her mama, y'all. I think in a lot of ways, this is Jasmine's chance to get away from her mama because I think she recognizes that this relationship, it's really toxic that she has with her mom, and I think she's looking at this as a chance that Bobby can save her, and she's hoping that Bobby will be true to what he's saying. Because if Bobby messes up, oh good Lord, you know that mama's gonna be waiting there right there to tell Jasmine, I told you so. I told you so. And who knows if this goes bad between Jasmine and Bobby and that mama sits up there with the I told you so speech, if Jasmine will ever take a chance on love again. Woo! There's a lot at stake here, y'all. There is a lot at stake. But I think they're going to say yes to each other. I think these two are going to say yes because I think that this is Jasmine's way to get free from that mama. And it's looking like we're going to get a yes from Sabrina and Steve too. It's looking like they're both going to say yes and they're going to try this long distance thing. And then I'm sure by the time we see the reunion, they're going to be broken up. If they say yes together and they're together at the reunion or whatever, how long ago, I'll be really surprised because I'm telling you, these two, they seem to get along enough to enjoy their day together, their time together, but their lives, their everyday life is like this. It's like where they are now, they're in a bubble, they get along really well. But unless one or two of them are willing to make some very big sacrifices, one of them is willing to move permanently, one or two of them either are willing to give up kids or have kids, I don't see this working. But you know what? If one of them can make one of those big decisions, they could work because they actually seem like they get along with each other very, very well. But I look at Sabrina as being a bit self centered, a bit selfish. So I don't know if she'll be the one to give it up, which means the one that gives it up has to be Steven. And I'm not for sure he'd be willing to do that, given that he's a gym owner, entrepreneur, unless he says I can go start a gym in Belfast. I don't know. I don't know. But I kind of see these two saying yes, but yet it not lasting. That's what I'm seeing offhand. I don't know. And last but not least, the Ollie Demi story. I mean, they had a great last date, but didn't it get the feeling of best friends? We're going to an arcade, we're having a good time, we're being silly. It just gave me best friend vibes, y'all. Y'all did correct me and let me know that, last week Demi was making that joke saying that they did have sex. So I guess I can get off of that they did have sex. So at this point in time, I don't know what we're working with, y'all. I really, really hope that this isn't one big acting game by Ollie. But they really seem emotionally connected. They seem like they had a good time, a good time. Ollie says he's in love. Demi says she's in love. They're both talking as if there's going to be a yes on decision day. So I'm thinking I don't know, y'all. Is it going to be a yes? But yet we see the previews coming up and we hear some little, I don't know, talk with Ollie talking about whether or not, they're better as friends. And I tell you what, if Ollie does not say yes to Demi, which let me say this. Let me say this. I wouldn't actually be surprised if Demi is the one that says no to Ollie. I know that may sound kind of irregular, but I wouldn't be surprised if Demi is the one because I don't know if Demi is ready for all that's going to come with Ollie. I don't know if Demi will say yes because one thing I can say about this couple is if I look at who's transformed the most, I would say that this couple, the two of them, have been the most transformational couple, especially Demi. Demi now to me has like really gained so much more confidence in this experiment. And what I'm wondering if she'll do is now that she's gained this confidence and she actually seems to be leaning a little bit more into her femininity, if she will come out of this experiment a bit more healed, and if she'll say then, hey, you know what? I'm not willing to settle for Ollie anymore because I don't know if he's giving me everything I want. Maybe before I was willing to take these crumbs that he's offering, but maybe I'm not anymore. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I'm going to tell you that speech that Ollie gave to her mother about her mother being a role model for her and her wanting the love that her mother has had for all these years. I thought it was a beautiful speech. And I thought the speech she was saying that how all the other girls were tiny and, real slender women and how she felt bad about herself because she had a few, extra curves on her than the women, but her learning to love her curves and really lean into her own beautifulness that she has. I wonder if that newfound confidence will make her reevaluate and say, you know what? Do I still want a more romantic relationship with the man that will be my husband, or will she say yes to Ollie? Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not always at a loss for like having a prediction, but right here and now, I really don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be so cool to see the answer. But I tell you this, anything short of Ollie saying yes, I'm gonna be pissed. If Ollie does not say yes on decision day, and I find out that this whole thing has been one big scam, he scammed Demi. He scammed Demi's family. He scammed Demi's dad. I'm gonna be hotter than fish grease, y'all. Because another thing I don't like is we have not met Ollie's family. Where is Ollie's family? And I'm gonna tell you, there's no who else on this show did not bring their family. Everyone else brought their family but Ollie. And I'm gonna tell you, that's a problem for me. That is a big problem that Demi didn't get the opportunity to meet Ollie's family, and he didn't make sure that someone from his family was here. A mother, a brother, a sister, someone, an aunt, someone was here to represent him. That's a problem for me. That is a real big problem for me. And I tell you, if he gets up there and says no, come back for my video because I'm going to be slamming Ollie to the ground. Because I'm telling you, it would be horrendous that he put this big of an act on just so he can look good. Because we know that he knew he was being the villain. Remember, he was mad. I don't want to be the villain. He was saying it and saying it and saying it. He was saying, I don't like the way people are trying to make me a villain and all this. He was saying it to Jasmine. And I sure hope that he didn't then decide, let me start putting on this whole act because I don't want to be the villain. But yet this was a whole act. I'm going to be hotter than fish grease. I really hope this is a fairy tale ending, y'all, because this could be the biggest comeback, the biggest turnaround story of the whole season. And it will be wonderful. It will be beautiful. My heart really wants it. I really want it for Demi because I really love the way that she has grown. But I sure hope this Ollie fella, I really do hope he ain't been out here selling us a bag of coals. I know he a software salesperson. I know he got the gift for gab. I sure he ain't out here tricking us all. But anyway, we will see on the next episode when they release it. We'll come back and talk about it, y'all. Thanks for chatting with me. Talk to you later. Bye.